Alright, I know. I haven't covered this tank yet, despite it being old in fuck. Old as fuck. It's like the oldest tank in the game. It's been here for like a year or something, I don't know, I can't fucking count. Anyway, the MBT-70. The main battle tank 70, not actually made in the 60s, made more in the 60s than the 70s. This was a development to replace the M60 and the Leopard 1. It had lots of new technological features, such as having all the crew in the turret, a gigantic engine, hydro something suspension which allowed the suspension on the tank to actually go up or down, increasing its gun depression or elevation, and making it go, basically making it tiny as hell when going over, when I'm going hull down. It also featured the first Western smoothbore cannon, which also fired missiles. It's either rifle cannon, smoothbore cannon, I don't know, don't quote me on that. Okay, and it also had 30 horsepower per turn. Yes, that's 30. This thing shifted in real life, literally fast as fuck. Probably still one of the fastest tanks ever made. Unfortunately, it was very expensive. These were estimated to cost 4 to 5 times as much as a regular M60 pattern. The gun had this problem of making its shells wet. Not in that sense, you dirty bastards, but the shells which could only work when dry. And since there were caseless rounds, meaning that the shells were always exposed to everything. Last but not least, if you have a really expensive tank, it better be easy to get crew for it, right? No. The driver, located somewhere in here, had to have a science/physics degree to actually be able to drive the thing. Because basically being in the turret meant that when the turret turned, the driver turned as well. So they solved by having the driver having his own little mini cupola. The problem is that there's something called motion sickness. So yeah, in the end it was very technologically well done, but it was too expensive and kind of useless. In game, the MBT-70 has one of the highest alpha damages in tier 6, and it has, I think, the highest penetration. I'm not sure about that, don't quote me on that. Its downsides to its gun is that it fires very slowly and it's very inaccurate. The tank is very fast. I may have said that several times. It is very, very, very fast. The tank is armoured enough. This area here can be penetrated by almost anything in the game. This armour is enough to stand up to tier 7s. The two main weak spots on the tank everyone will aim for is this bit here and this bit here. So when you're facing your enemy, don't just sit there and reload. Angle your turret, move, whatever, and when the gun has finished its 50 bazillion second reload time, then you can point the turret at them. It has relatively weak side armour and rear armour, but whatever, it's MBT, we know that. There are two MBT-70s in the game. The first one is one you can buy, I think. I don't know, can you? Let's have a look. Yes, you can buy it, it's right there. We have the regular version you can buy, and then we have the emo paint job version. The wolf version. Is it the wolf version? No, it's the mercenary version, which has that very amusing skull on the side. The difference between these is the paint scheme, and the fact that the Merc version, I think you can buy it in the store, I don't know, comes with a fully upgraded crew, while the regular MBT-70 does it. Apart from that, there's no differences. In comparison to all the other tier 6 MBTs, of which I have one, the MBT-70 is the fastest. It also has the longest reload, it has the best penetration, I think, and it has the most weak spots. This tank is very well good at supporting AFEs and stuff. AFEs and light tanks. Basically, this thing and Stingrays and VFM5s and even RDFs can go very well together. Ammo choices, it doesn't get any high explosive, but with the amount of penetration that the 152mm gets, it's more than enough. You also get heat shells, which do a metric butt ton of damage, and Chalaya and anti-tank missiles. Me, I've gone for a more accurate reload, so I still have gyroscopic stabilizers. You can do maximum damage on that, so you would go for magnetic actuator and experimental propellant, giving you a damage increase of almost, well, meaning that your heat shells will actually be hitting for 700 on average rather than 600, whatever it is. As always, internal hull reinforcement. You can go several ways of going this tank. You can do what I do, which is go for accuracy and aim time, so enhance shell material, better moving on the fire, rate of fire, gyroscopic stabilizers, aim time. But personally, I would go for gyroscopic stabilizers and augmented breech lock, which gets the aim time down and the maximum accuracy. The tank does not have any gun depression at all over this side. Well, over the rear. It might do, like 0.5 or something. So if there's an enemy behind you and it's another MBT-70, you're not going to be able to hit that lower glacis. Let's actually find a game that I did well on. There we go. Hold yourselves. I was playing this game with Hedy and Schvork. Hedy is the peacekeeper. Well, is a peacekeeper, not the peacekeeper. Very nice guy. Platoon but when you have to. This is on high wall. And initially, looking at the artillery, I was like, "Oh my fucking god! These guys are going to shoot at me over and over and over again." Did it work? Well, we'll have to find out. Now we need to find out which is the button to get the replay up and down. Which button is it? Seriously? Oh no! No wonder why I pressed. Have they changed the controls? There we go, there's page up. So, we all went to the D7 area. This is where... this is one of the 2 points on the map. Well, one of the 2 edges on the map. Where, the faster vehicles usually meet. I decided to go for the place that I could hold down, and I was quite right on this one. Hedy got himself into a bit of trouble. He has a habit of finding the enemy with his face, while I was like, hey, I can go in the hold down position, and since the enemies didn't have enough depression to shoot me from a turret position, they would have to actually go up, as you can see from the rest of these guys here. And why I've just switched this rock, I don't know. Please forgive me. So yeah, I basically hugged this rock. I'm like, must hug the rock. While it looks like we're losing this bit, we're not, because the enemy will always suffer significant damage coming up here, and I hit this guy for 510 damage. I'm a tier 6, yeah, what's up? I could periodically actually free shot this M60A3 if I get good damage rolls, and while he's gone into a flanking position, it's not actually that useful. There's a VBL at our base. See, there's another shot in him. A good high roll would kill that M60A3. And at our base there's a VBL and a T-72A that got over there. I don't know how, don't ask me how. It happens. It's a multiplayer game. That Akatishkyo is going... whatever he's doing. I don't know. So here, at the moment, these guys are trying to shoot my lower glacis, or the upper glacis. I don't know what the hell they were trying to shoot at. And that was from, I think, a high explosive round. And you see, if I'd have had, I think, my second shot, a high damage roll, that M60A3 would have been dead. Unfortunately, since he's not dead, he's going to plague me for the rest of the game. And then a friggin' chieftain comes up behind from me, and he starts shooting at my butt. So I'm like, oh god, who do I shoot at? Who do I shoot at? Who do I shoot at? And I'm like, oh god, because I've got about... I haven't got long before this chieftain starts shooting at me. And then he makes the mistake of trying to go into me. Like, literally, like, right there. And since this tank is so mobile, I'm like, oh hey, I can point my entire front at you now. To be honest, that chieftain, I mean, right now, I'm safe from those enemy tanks behind me, and now I can deal with this chieftain from the front. This chieftain really effed up. He should have stayed there and just shot me. I mean, that M60A3 definitely hit that low glacis down there. Definitely. However, I killed him anyway, so it doesn't matter to me. And then this VBL tries to come up He is going to carry up, don't worry. And then the artillery starts shooting at me as well. I'm like, oh god, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. Well, the VBL should have gone this way. 3 hit points left, and I was cursing and screaming at the artillery by then. But so far the tank's actually held itself up, to be honest. I'm like, kill the Leopard 105. Yeah, 474 damage is actually minimum roll. Lol. This VBL starts shooting at Shvork, but for the most part, what can I do against him? I don't know. So this is where this Leopard 2AV comes up, and he bounces on me. Seriously, yeah, he bounces on me. And the artillery kills me. I did about 4,000 damage in that match. Getting to that place in the MBT-70 was crucial. Any other tier 6 MBT would not have been able to do it within a reasonable span of time. The alpha damage allowed me to do significant damage to that MBT, to that M60A3, and to kill that chieftain relatively quickly. While the T-72 would have beaten me at that point, it wouldn't have been able to get up to the rock. It wouldn't have been able to bounce all those shots. That's all I can say, really. The rest of this game kind of doesn't really go well. We've got a VBL with 2 kills. Why? I don't know. But the MBT-70, in my honest opinion, should not be used as a main battle tank. In a sense that you would use a main battle tank. Going for that full position like I did, good idea. Actually, great idea. Supporting your light tanks. I mean, this thing can happily keep up with Stingrays and RDFs. It won't be able to keep up with a VFM, but well, the VFM is even faster. But this should be used proactively. And if you want a tank, if you want a main battle tank that has good alpha, good penetration, you don't care about the reload, and it's fast as well, the MBT-70 is a tank for you. It comes with a hefty gold price tag of whatever it says on your store page. Seriously, how much is it? Don't want to tell me. Alright, whatever. I think it's something about 6,000 mil or something. I don't know. The downside of the MBT-70, like I said before, is the 3 weak spots. There, and there. But given how fast enough the tank is, especially when reversing, you can make those weak spots a non-issue unless the enemy actually knows where to aim. But even then, wiggling the tank all the time, they'll bounce, and if they bounce, you can aim fast enough to put a shot straight down into them. The MBT-70 can actually challenge some tier 7s like the T-80. It won't do much to the Challenger 2, but it will absolutely royally destroy a Merkava that actually only has slightly less pen than Merkava and has more damage. So that's really it for the MBT-70. Like I said, you want a really fast MBT with a good gun? Go for it. Kill your enemies. As always, that's the MBT-70 review. I may have said that 4 times. I'm old, I'm 20 this year, I got shit to do. And I will see you next time for the next review.